Chosen ones, you are more extraordinary than you could ever imagine. Your presence in someone's life is never accidental. It is a divine appointment with a purpose beyond human understanding. You walk this earth as a living reflection of karma, a catalyst for transformation, and a disruptor of the status quo. Think about it. Some people cross your path and experience breakthrough blessings, while others find themselves confronted with chaos and truths they'd rather ignore. Why is your presence so powerful, so impossible to overlook? It's because you are not just anyone. You are a chosen one, sent to shake foundations, challenge illusions, and ignite change. This isn't a task for the faint of heart. You were designed to flip tables in the cosmic diner of life, to act as a mirror that forces others to see their true selves, whether they're ready or not. Some will see you as a gift wrapped in divine wisdom, a spiritual teacher whose lessons lead to growth and healing. Others, however, might view you as a storm, a challenge they never asked for, shaking the fragile walls of their comfort zones. But your purpose isn't tied to their perception of you. You are here as a divine test, sent to shift the atmosphere, to bring light to darkness, and to make others face the truths they've been running from. Have you ever wondered why your energy feels so intense, why it stirs emotions wherever you go? It's because your role in this world is extraordinary. Science suggests that the average person impacts at least 880,000 lives in their lifetime. But for chosen ones, that impact is magnified, deeper, and far more spiritual. You are not just living life, you are disrupting it with purpose, showing people what they need to see, whether they like it or not. Comment 777. If you've ever felt this unique calling, and to those who have supported this channel through super thanks, we extend our heartfelt gratitude for standing with us on this journey. But here's the intriguing part. Your presence is not random. You are sent into people's lives to dismantle illusions, to uproot toxic patterns, and to shine a light on the areas they'd rather leave in the shadows. You are not responsible for whether they pass or fail the spiritual tests you bring into their lives. That's between them and God. You are the exam, not the answer sheet, and your mission is to simply play your role with grace, faith, and courage. Are you ready to dive deeper into the profound truth behind your divine role? Let's explore together how you, as a walking karma, are impacting the lives of those around you in ways you might not even realize. God's chosen ones, you are a walking karma, sent into people's lives as a divine test. Number 1. You are not here to be liked. You are here to be a catalyst. Let this sink in. Your mission as one of God's chosen is not about being liked. It's about fulfilling a higher calling as a divine disruptor. Your very presence shakes the foundations of the illusions people have built around themselves. The moment you enter someone's life, a ripple effect begins. Things shift, often dramatically, as if your energy unlocks a hidden door that leads them face to face with their deepest truths. Yet, this isn't about being harsh or unkind. Rather, it's about becoming the spark that ignites the fires of transformation. Transformation, however, is rarely comfortable. Think about this. Why do people resist change so fiercely? It's because growth demands confrontation with what is hidden, unresolved, or painful. As a chosen one, you embody an energy that doesn't allow stagnation. Your authenticity is a mirror reflecting back the parts of themselves they would rather keep buried. Just like Jesus, whose mere presence unsettled the Pharisees and disrupted their tightly held traditions. John 2:13-17. You challenge the status quo simply by being true to who you are. Is it any wonder that people project their insecurities and frustrations onto you? It's easier to blame the mirror than face the reflection. But here's the truth. Being liked or accepted is not your assignment. Your role is not to win applause or maintain the false peace of superficial harmony. Instead, you are here to expose what's hidden, to break down walls, and to provoke growth. Consider the storm Jesus calmed on the Sea of Galilee, Mark 4:35-41. At first, the disciples were terrified of the chaos, but when the storm subsided, they were left in awe of his divine power. In a similar way, your presence might feel like a whirlwind to those unprepared for change. They may resent you for disrupting their comfort, but when the dust settles, they often find themselves with a clearer understanding of their own lives. Being a catalyst is a sacred responsibility, even when it feels heavy. This is not about being destructive for destruction's sake. It's about creating space for overdue growth and transformation. You are neither the villain nor the hero of their story. You are the divine force God uses to pull them out of the shadows and into the light. Like the Apostle Paul, who endured rejection and hostility while spreading the gospel, 2 Corinthians 11:23-28. Your journey may not win you popularity, but in the end, you are fulfilling a purpose far greater than temporary approval. Can you see the significance of your role? What would happen if you embraced this divine calling fully, despite the resistance it brings? As a chosen one, you are not just part of the story. You are the turning point, the chapter where everything begins to change. Whether others acknowledge it or not, you are exactly what they need, even if it takes time for them to realize it. Number 2. Your silence is louder than most people's words. Your silence carries a resonance that words often fail to reach. As one of God's chosen, you possess a presence that speaks volumes without uttering a single syllable. Unlike many, you don't feel the need to explain or justify yourself constantly. The quiet strength within you sends ripples through the atmosphere, commanding attention and evoking reflection. People sense the depth of your energy before you even speak, and this unspoken authority unsettles them. What is it about silence that can be so disarming? When paired with your divine aura, it acts as a spotlight, forcing others to confront the shadows of their own fears, insecurities, and unresolved wounds. Consider the example of Jesus before Pontius Pilate. When questioned, he often chose silence instead of defending himself, fulfilling the prophecy. He was oppressed and afflicted, yet he did not open his mouth. He was led like a lamb to the slaughter. Isaiah 53:7. His silence held power. It exposed truth, dismantled falsehoods, and left his accusers grappling with their guilt. Similarly, your silence serves as a mirror. Without needing to raise your voice, you reveal the noise, lies, and chaos that others have allowed to dominate their inner lives. In your stillness, they begin to hear the clamor of their own thoughts, and that confrontation can be both profound and unsettling. When you choose not to argue, justify, or engage in unnecessary conversations, your silence itself becomes the message. How often have people misunderstood your quietness as aloofness or indifference? In truth, your silence is the opposite. It creates space, a sacred pause, for others to listen to their own hearts and confront truths they might otherwise avoid. By not interfering, you allow them to see themselves clearly, and that clarity can either be a gift or a challenge, depending on their readiness for growth. Your silence holds power because it strips away illusions. It disarms egos, exposes hidden motives, and invites people to question their actions and intentions. Like Elijah hearing God's voice in the gentle whisper after the storm. 1 Kings 19:12. Your quietness carries a divine force that moves others in ways they cannot ignore. It's why you don't need to engage in petty disputes or emotional theatrics. Your presence alone unsettles what is false and amplifies what is true. For some, this transformative silence is liberating. For others, it's unbearable. Yet, no one can deny its impact. Your quiet strength challenges the world around you, breaking through pretense without a single word. Have you noticed how unforgettable you are, even when you've said nothing? That's because your silence, wielded with divine purpose, becomes the sharpest tool for transformation. And perhaps the most astonishing part is this: the transformation happens not because of what you said, but because of what you chose not to say. Number 3. People are tested by their reactions to you. As one of God's chosen, your presence serves as a divine litmus test, revealing truths about others they might not even recognize in themselves. When you step into someone's life, it's never a neutral encounter. You arrive like a beam of light, illuminating the hidden corners of their hearts. Whether they admire you, resent you, or feel threatened by you, their reactions are not really about you. They are reflections of their inner world. Your very existence becomes the test, and their treatment of you determines whether they pass or fail. Some people will be naturally drawn to your energy. These individuals are ready for growth and see you as an inspiration, like the disciples who recognized Jesus as the Messiah and left everything to follow him. Matthew 4:19-20. They treat you with respect, love, and gratitude. To them, your presence is a gift, a source of motivation that encourages them to rise above their limitations and step into their own higher potential. You might unknowingly ignite a fire in their spirits, pushing them toward transformation. But not everyone responds with such openness. There will be those who see you as a threat, even if you've done nothing to harm them. These individuals are not yet ready to confront their own shortcomings or fears. Instead of looking inward, they externalize their discomfort by lashing out at you. They might criticize, envy, or even attempt to undermine you. Why? Because your presence serves as a mirror, reflecting back their insecurities and unresolved pain. Consider the Pharisees who opposed Jesus. Their hostility was less about his actions and more about the challenge he posed to their carefully curated image of righteousness. John 11:47-48. Similarly, those who attack you are often wrestling with their own shadows. This dynamic is central to your divine role. You're not here to fix others or soften the lessons they need to learn. Your task is simply to be yourself, a vessel of truth, whether others are ready to embrace it or not. As Paul writes in 2 Corinthians 2:15-16, "For we are to God the pleasing aroma of Christ. To the one, we are an aroma that brings death, to the other, an aroma that brings life." Your presence has the power to uplift some and unsettle others, depending on the state of their hearts. Have you noticed how profoundly people's reactions to you differ? Some rise to the occasion, using the encounter as an opportunity for growth, while others crumble under the weight of their unhealed wounds. Either way, you leave them changed. Like a storm that clears the air, your presence stirs transformation, even if it's uncomfortable in the moment. Isn't it extraordinary to think that simply by existing as you are, you're fulfilling a divine purpose? Whether others grow from their encounter with you or resist the truth you reflect, you are carrying out God's will, planting seeds of change that cannot be ignored. Number 4. You magnetize both light and darkness. Your energy, as one of God's chosen, acts as a powerful beacon, drawing both light and shadow into your orbit. This dual magnetism is no accident. It's a deliberate aspect of your divine mission. Like a lighthouse guiding ships, you illuminate paths for those seeking transformation while simultaneously exposing the hidden depths of those trapped in their shadows. This dynamic is both a blessing and a challenge, making your life anything but ordinary. On one hand, you naturally attract high-vibration souls, individuals who are eager to evolve and resonate with your authenticity. These are people who are inspired by your courage, your refusal to settle for mediocrity, and your unwavering commitment to truth. In your presence, they feel uplifted, understood, and motivated to become the best version of themselves. Consider the example of Ruth and Naomi from the Bible, Ruth 1:16-17. Ruth was drawn to Naomi's unwavering faith and character, leading her to declare, "Where you go, I will go, and where you stay, I will stay." Your energy, much like Naomi's, creates a safe space for others to grow and forge meaningful, transformative connections. However, there's another side to this magnetism that is far more complex. Your light also draws the unhealed, the envious, and the manipulative. These individuals aren't drawn to you because they seek growth. They're pulled in by an unconscious reaction to the light you carry. To them, your presence is a threat, a glaring reminder of the truth they've been avoiding, just as King Saul's jealousy of David turned into relentless pursuit. 1 Samuel 18:8-9. These individuals project their insecurities onto you, attempting to test your strength or diminish your radiance. Their actions may not be intentional, but they stem from the discomfort your light triggers within them. This duality in your experiences isn't a coincidence. It's part of your divine assignment. You are here not only to inspire, but also to reveal. Your presence exposes where the light can shine brighter and where the darkness can no longer hide. Think about this. Why does your energy evoke such strong reactions in others? It's because you represent a choice, a decision to step into the light or retreat further into the shadows. Your existence compels people to confront themselves, whether they're ready or not. Navigating this balance is no easy feat. It requires discernment to recognize who is meant to walk alongside you and who is merely a distraction. It demands boundaries to protect your energy from being drained by those who seek to pull you down. Yet, through every interaction, whether harmonious or challenging, you leave a profound mark on the world. Your light has the power to transform, to heal, and to challenge. Even when it's difficult, remember that this is the price of carrying God's light within you. How often have you wondered why your path seems so fraught with both blessings and battles? Could it be that your role as a divine catalyst requires this duality? Each encounter, whether uplifting or testing, is shaping you into a greater force for transformation. In this sacred journey, your light is not just a gift, it's a responsibility, and its impact is immeasurable. Number 5. You often trigger emotional chaos without trying. Your presence is like a quiet storm, powerful and transformative, yet completely unintentional. When you step into a room, you don't simply arrive, you shift its entire atmosphere. Without saying a word, your energy begins to peel away the layers of illusion that others have built around themselves. It's not something you do deliberately, but your raw and honest frequency acts as a mirror, forcing people to see parts of themselves they might prefer to ignore. For some, this experience is liberating. Imagine the woman at the well in John 4:4-26, who opened up to Jesus about her life's hidden struggles. His presence and truth unlocked something within her, bringing clarity and healing. Similarly, people often find themselves revealing their deepest secrets and vulnerabilities in your presence, even those they've hidden from themselves. Your authenticity creates a safe space where they feel seen and understood, inspiring them to confront their truths with courage. But not everyone responds with openness and gratitude. For others, your energy can feel like a tidal wave, dredging up insecurities, fears, and unresolved pain. These individuals have spent years crafting masks to hide their vulnerabilities, and your presence makes those masks feel unbearably heavy. Like the Pharisees who resisted Jesus' teachings because he challenged their authority and exposed their hypocrisy. Matthew 23:27-28. These individuals may lash out at you, not because of what you've done, but because of what you represent. Their anger and defensiveness are often misplaced projections of their own inner turmoil. This emotional chaos is not a reflection of you, it's a reflection of what lies dormant within them. Your presence is not too much, nor are you the problem. You are a divine catalyst, called into their lives to awaken growth, even if their egos resist. Have you ever considered that their souls may have asked for this encounter on a deeper level, even if their conscious minds reject it? Your role is to reveal, not to fix. Whether they choose to embrace the truth you uncover or run from it is entirely up to them. Being a storm in someone's life can be exhausting, especially when you're blamed for the upheaval you unintentionally cause. Yet this isn't about being liked, understood, or accepted. Just as Jesus said, "Do not suppose that I've come to bring peace to the earth. I did not come to bring peace, but a sword." Matthew 10:34. Your purpose is not to make people comfortable, but to ignite transformation. Growth is rarely comfortable, and the chaos you trigger is often the beginning of something greater. Not everyone will be ready for the change you bring, and that's okay. Your role is not to force transformation, but to create the conditions for it. Whether they rise to the challenge or reject you is their choice. Still, one thing is certain: your impact is unforgettable. Have you noticed how, even after you've left, people can't seem to stop thinking about you? That's because your presence plants seeds of change that continue to grow long after you're gone. It's a heavy responsibility, but also a sacred gift. Could it be that this is precisely why God chose you? Number 6. You are a mirror, not a savior. One of the most profound truths you've had to accept as one of God's chosen is this: you are not here to save anyone. While people often gravitate toward you, seeking answers, comfort, or even salvation, your divine purpose is not to carry their burdens or heal their wounds for them. You are not their savior, you are their mirror. Your role is to reflect their light, their shadow, and all the truth in between back to them with unrelenting clarity. This reflection is not an act of cruelty, but a gift of profound truth. When people encounter you, they aren't simply seeing you, they are seeing themselves through you. To those ready for growth, your presence is empowering. They glimpse their potential, their untapped strength, and their inherent wisdom. Like Peter, who saw himself anew through his encounters with Jesus and found the courage to walk on water, Matthew 14:29. These individuals are inspired by the reflection you provide. Your authenticity becomes a beacon, illuminating the path toward their own greatness. But for others, the experience is deeply uncomfortable. Your energy reveals the fears, flaws, and unhealed traumas they've worked hard to suppress. This raw honesty can be overwhelming, and rather than confront what they see, many choose to reject you instead. Like the rich young ruler who turned away from Jesus, unable to face the truth of what was being asked of him, Mark 10:17-22, they resist the mirror you hold up. It's not that you're doing anything wrong, it's simply that your unfiltered authenticity makes hiding impossible. Around you, pretense crumbles and masks fall away, leaving only raw truth. This dynamic can leave you feeling misunderstood. Have you noticed how some people accuse you of being cold, detached, or even unsympathetic? They project their frustrations onto you because it's easier than facing themselves. Yet, what they fail to realize is that you are giving them one of the greatest gifts imaginable, the chance to see themselves clearly. It's not your responsibility to make them like what they see. That choice, to embrace or reject their truth, is theirs alone. Your task is simply to hold up the mirror and let them decide. This role is not about fixing anyone, because no one is truly broken. They are merely being called to evolve, to step into the fullness of who they were created to be. Think of Jesus healing the man at the pool of Bethesda, not by carrying him to the water, but by commanding him to rise and walk on his own. John 5:8. Like Jesus, your role is not to carry others, but to empower them to carry themselves. Your reflection stirs something within them, a recognition that the path to healing and growth is theirs to walk. Have you ever felt the weight of being misunderstood for simply being yourself? Could it be that this discomfort is part of your divine assignment? You're not here to soften truths or to sugarcoat reality. Instead, you're here to strip away illusions and reveal what lies beneath. It's not always an easy path, but it's one of immense value. Whether people rise to the challenge or shy away, your impact remains undeniable. You are the mirror God has placed in their lives, and in that, your purpose is fulfilled. Number 7, you experience extreme isolation for a reason. The loneliness you face as one of God's chosen is no accident. It's part of a divine design. Your path is unlike any other, marked by depth and complexity that few can truly understand. While others surround themselves with constant companionship, your journey often leads you to solitude, not because you're unworthy of connection, but because your mission requires a focus that casual relationships cannot support. Your isolation is not a punishment. It's a profound preparation for the role God has entrusted to you. This solitude, though painful at times, serves a sacred purpose. When you are alone, you are free from distractions that might dilute your energy or divert you from your higher calling. It's in these quiet moments that your intuition sharpens, and you learn to trust the whispers of your soul and the voice of God. Think of Moses, who spent 40 years in the wilderness before leading the Israelites to freedom, Exodus 3:1-12. His isolation was not a rejection, but a season of preparation, allowing him to grow in faith and strength. Similarly, your solitude is a training ground where your spirit is refined, your purpose clarified, and your reliance on external validation stripped away. Yet this isolation can feel like a void, a heavy burden that leaves you questioning your place in the world. You might wonder why forming deep connections feels so difficult, or why relationships often seem fleeting or superficial. This isn't because you're unworthy of love, it's because your energy is disruptive. You challenge comfort zones simply by being yourself, and not everyone is ready for that level of intensity. Like Jesus, who was often misunderstood and retreated to solitary places to pray, Luke 5:16. Your authenticity sets you apart, and many shy away from the light you carry. But within this loneliness lies a hidden gift, clarity. Free from the noise of societal expectations and the opinions of others, you are able to focus on your divine purpose with unwavering precision. You're not here to blend in or conform. You're here to stand apart, to lead, and to transform. This separation allows you to develop the self-awareness, strength, and spiritual depth needed to fulfill your mission. Could it be that this isolation is God's way of carving you into the vessel He needs you to be? Though the weight of solitude can feel overwhelming, it is shaping you into a person of unshakable purpose and truth. Consider Joseph, who was betrayed by his brothers and spent years in isolation before rising to a position where he could save countless lives. Genesis 37:18-36, 41:57. His journey through loneliness was essential for his eventual greatness. Likewise, your path may be lonely, but it is leading to something far greater than immediate comfort. Have you ever noticed how, in your solitude, you uncover strengths you never knew you had? Could it be that this season of isolation is a divine appointment, preparing you for the impact you are destined to make? Though it's difficult now, trust that your loneliness is not in vain. It is forging you into a force of transformation, someone uniquely equipped to fulfill a purpose that only you can carry out. Number 8. Your energy demands accountability. Your energy carries a divine weight that leaves no room for pretense. When people encounter you, it's as if an invisible spotlight shines directly on the truth of who they are. This is not because you aim to judge or dismantle them, but because your presence naturally exposes what lies beneath the surface. Without uttering a word, you demand accountability. Masks fall away and facades crumble in your presence, leaving only the raw, unfiltered essence of a person's soul. For some, this revelation is a gift. Imagine Zacchaeus, the tax collector, who climbed a tree to see Jesus and, in his presence, found the courage to confess his wrongs and make amends. Luke 19:1-10. Similarly, those yearning for authenticity find relief in your energy. You offer an unspoken permission for them to drop their pretenses and realign with their true selves. Though the process is rarely comfortable, it's liberating. They begin to reflect deeply on their actions, words, and motives, often realizing how far they've strayed from their higher calling. Your energy becomes a catalyst for their transformation. However, not everyone is ready for such clarity. For some, your energy feels like a direct assault on their ego. They've spent years constructing walls to shield themselves from their own truths, and your presence challenges that fragile stability. Like the Pharisees who bristled at Jesus' uncompromising truth, calling him too much to handle, John 8:39-59, these individuals may become defensive, dismissive, or even hostile. Their reaction is not about you. It's a reflection of their resistance to confronting the parts of themselves they've long ignored. When they accuse you of being too intense, what they truly mean is, "I'm not ready to face myself." This dynamic is not a burden for you to carry. You are not responsible for how others respond to the truth you reveal. Your role is not to make them feel guilty or to coax them into change. Instead, you are a divine mirror, reflecting back the truth of their actions and intentions. Whether they embrace this reflection as an opportunity for growth or retreat into denial is entirely their choice. Your energy does not judge, it reveals. And in that revelation lies the potential for profound transformation, like the prophet Nathan confronting King David about his sins, 2 Samuel 12:1-13. Your presence creates a moment of reckoning. Will they accept the challenge and seek to grow, or will they turn away, unwilling to face their reflection? Either way, you fulfill your divine purpose simply by being who you are. Have you ever wondered why some people are drawn to you, while others react so strongly against you? Could it be that your presence acts as a divine call to action, asking them to step into their truth? Though not everyone will rise to the challenge, trust that your role is vital. You are the spark that ignites transformation, a living reminder that accountability is the first step toward true freedom. Number 9. You're a living reminder of universal justice. Your very presence speaks a profound and silent truth. No one escapes the consequences of their actions. As one of God's chosen, you carry the weight of universal justice in your energy, a constant reminder that every intention, choice, and deed matters. This isn't something you consciously project, it's simply woven into the essence of who you are. When people encounter you, they feel it instinctively, even if they can't articulate why. You serve as a living symbol of the universal balance, reminding others that integrity and accountability are unavoidable. This is why your presence can provoke unease, even when you've done nothing to cause it. To those who walk in truth and align their lives with honesty, your energy feels affirming, almost like divine validation. Think of Job, whose unwavering righteousness in the face of trials stood as a testament to justice and faithfulness. Job 1:8. For people living with integrity, your authenticity reinforces their sense of purpose and encourages them to continue walking their path with honor. But for those who have tipped the scales through dishonesty, selfishness, or harm, your presence feels like an unspoken judgment. It's not that you're actively condemning them, it's that your energy holds up a mirror to their actions. This subconscious recognition of accountability can lead to a variety of reactions. Some people may grow defensive or aggressive, projecting their guilt onto you. Others might avoid you entirely, unable to face what you represent. Then there are those who go out of their way to impress you, as though winning your approval could somehow balance their scales. Just as King Saul's guilt and insecurity drove him to hostility against David. Samuel 18:8-9. Their discomfort reveals more about their inner turmoil than it does about you. Being this living reminder of justice is not an easy role to bear. You may find yourself blamed for the discomfort others feel in your presence, as though you're responsible for stirring up what was already dormant within them. It's not unusual for people to accuse you of being too intense or judgmental, even when you've done nothing but exist authentically. However, your role is not to soothe egos or ease their discomfort. Your purpose is far greater, to stand as a beacon of truth, a tangible reminder that the universe is always keeping score. Consider the prophet Daniel, whose unwavering faithfulness exposed the corruption around him, leading to both opposition and admiration. Daniel 6:1-28. Like Daniel, your life serves as a silent testimony to the principle of divine justice. You're not here to punish or reward. You're here to remind. The scales of karma, like the scales of divine judgment, are ever present, and your energy ensures that no one forgets this fact. Have you ever noticed how profoundly your presence shifts the dynamics in a room? Could it be that this silent power is precisely why you've been set apart? Whether welcomed or feared, your role is undeniable. You are a living testament to the truth that every action has consequences, and in this sacred responsibility, you leave a mark on the world that cannot be ignored. Number 10. You don't play by earthly rules. As one of God's chosen, your life is not governed by the rules most people follow. While others are entangled in societal norms and expectations, you move to the rhythm of a higher spiritual calling. Your choices, actions, and perspectives stem from divine intuition and purpose, rather than the fear-driven narratives that dominate the world. This doesn't make you a deliberate rebel. Instead, it sets you apart as someone who sees the grander picture, a vision shaped by truth and alignment with God's will. This spiritual alignment makes you unpredictable. People often try to categorize you, expecting you to fit into the molds they understand. But you don't conform to their expectations, and your refusal to play by their rules unsettles them. Consider Jesus, who defied societal norms by healing on the Sabbath, Mark 3:1-6, and dining with tax collectors and sinners, Matthew 9:10-13. His actions were not about rebellion, but about fulfilling a higher purpose that transcended human traditions. Similarly, your decisions are guided by eternal truths rather than earthly constructs, making you immune to manipulation or coercion. For those who thrive on control, your unpredictability can be deeply frustrating. They may try to mold you into something more manageable, attempting to box you into their limited understanding. Yet, the more they try, the more they realize they can't. Your actions aren't driven by the usual fears, insecurities, or desires that influence others. Promises of power, wealth, or status hold little sway over you because your focus lies beyond the material realm. You are, in essence, untouchable, rooted in a purpose that cannot be bought, bargained with, or derailed by worldly distractions. This resistance to earthly rules can provoke irritation, confusion, and even desperation in those who don't understand you. Like Nicodemus, who struggled to grasp the spiritual truths Jesus spoke of, many are left baffled by your perspective. John 3:1-12. But this is precisely your gift. By refusing to conform to superficial standards, you remind others of the limitations they've imposed on themselves. Your life becomes a testament to what it means to walk by faith and not by sight. 2 Corinthians 5:7. Have you noticed how people often try to challenge or question your path? Could it be that your non-conformity forces them to examine their own motivations and fears? While some may react with frustration, others are inspired by your example, recognizing the freedom that comes from living in alignment with a higher calling. You don't need to fit into anyone's narrative or agenda. Your purpose is not to please the world, but to fulfill the mission God has entrusted to you. In a society bound by fear, control, and conformity, your unwavering connection to divine truth makes you a force of transformation. You are living proof that true power comes not from playing by earthly rules, but from answering to a higher authority. This makes you untouchable and uniquely equipped to carry out the divine work you've been called to do. Number 11. Your challenges are proportionate to your role. The difficulties you face in life are neither random nor coincidental. As one of God's chosen, your challenges are carefully calibrated to prepare you for your divine role. They are not ordinary struggles. They are extraordinary trials designed to refine you for a mission that carries immense spiritual weight. Whether you're confronting generational curses, collective wounds, or unresolved karmic debts, your life's burdens reflect the magnitude of your purpose. The greater the pain, the more profound the transformation you are called to bring. Think about the life of Joseph in the Bible. Betrayed by his brothers, sold into slavery, and wrongfully imprisoned, his hardship seemed relentless and unjust. Genesis 37:39. Yet each trial was a stepping stone that prepared him to save not only his family, but an entire nation. Similarly, your challenges may feel overwhelming, as if the universe is throwing everything at you at once. But these trials are not designed to break you. They are meant to strengthen you. Each loss, betrayal, and hardship is shaping you into the vessel God needs to carry out a mission only you can fulfill. Your trials also serve a larger purpose. You are not merely navigating personal struggles. You are transmuting energies and healing wounds that span beyond yourself. You might wonder why your life feels so heavy compared to others. The truth is, you are here to carry a weight that others cannot. You're breaking cycles, rewriting narratives, and transforming the darkness into light. Consider Moses, who bore the immense responsibility of leading the Israelites out of slavery and into freedom. Exodus 3. His trials, from self-doubt to rebellion from his people, were proportional to the greatness of his calling. Have you noticed how each challenge you overcome equips you with wisdom and strength that others draw from? This is not a coincidence. Every obstacle you face is a divine test, meant to refine your character and deepen your capacity for growth. It's easy to ask, why me, when the weight feels unbearable? But could it be that your trials are a reflection of the immense trust God has placed in you? He knows your resilience and has chosen you to walk a path that few are equipped to endure. Your hardships are part of a much larger story. The intensity of your trials signifies the importance of your role in the greater plan. You are the one chosen to transform not just your life, but the lives of those around you and even generations to come. Like Jesus, who carried the ultimate burden to bring salvation to the world, John 3:16. Your trials are purposeful, shaping you into a force of transformation. Though the path is not easy, it is powerful. Each burden you carry is an opportunity to turn pain into purpose, darkness into light, and hardship into hope. The strength you gain from rising above these challenges inspires others to follow. Can you see how your trials are equipping you for something far greater than yourself? This is your divine calling, to bear the weight of transformation, to heal what others cannot, and to bring light to places where it has long been absent. Number 12. You are both a blessing and a curse. You occupy a space that is both exalted and challenging, embodying the duality of being both a blessing and a curse. This perception entirely depends on the perspective of those encountering you. To those ready to grow, you are a divine gift, a guide for the lost, a beacon for the uncertain, and a source of inspiration for the weary. Your role as a teacher is not loud or forceful, but quiet and undeniable. Through your energy, actions, and example, you gently yet powerfully encourage others to break free from their limitations and step into their highest potential. For those seeking evolution, you are the spark that ignites transformation. Like a mentor they never knew they needed, your presence lights the path they had been unable to find on their own. Consider Ruth's relationship with Naomi. Naomi's wisdom and authenticity became the guiding force that helped Ruth find her purpose and step into her destiny. Ruth 1:16-17. In the same way, your authenticity calls others to rise higher, offering hope and clarity to those ready to embrace change. But to those resisting growth, your presence feels entirely different. You become a curse, an unwelcome mirror reflecting all they've avoided or left undone. Your authenticity and drive are unsettling to those who are stuck in fear, stagnation, or complacency. Like the Pharisees who were enraged by Jesus' fearless truth-telling and his challenge to their authority, Matthew 23, such individuals project their discomfort onto you. They may see you as too much, too bold, or even as a threat, not because of who you are, but because of what you represent. Your mere existence forces them to confront truths about themselves they'd rather ignore. You embody the potential they've yet to fulfill and the fears they're unwilling to face. For them, you are a living reminder of their unfulfilled dreams and unresolved struggles. This can evoke resentment, frustration, or even outright hostility. But it's not personal. It's their internal conflict reacting to the truth you carry. This duality is part of the divine test you embody. You're not here to make people comfortable. Like Jesus overturning the tables of the money changers in the temple, John 2:13-16. You are here to disrupt, to challenge, and to awaken. Whether seen as a blessing or a curse, your purpose remains the same: to catalyze change and encourage transformation. Have you ever wondered why your presence elicits such strong reactions, both positive and negative? Could it be that this duality is a reflection of your profound spiritual role? You're not called to seek approval or fit neatly into the world's expectations. Your path is not about appeasing egos or smoothing over discomfort. It's about standing in your truth, regardless of how it's received. Whether you're seen as a gift or a challenge, your purpose is undeniable. You are a catalyst for transformation, a living reflection of truth, justice, and growth. To some, you are the blessing they never expected. To others, You are the confrontation they wish they could avoid. But in the end, you are exactly what you were designed to be. A divine force that disrupts complacency and awakens souls to their highest potential. This is your calling, and it is sacred. God's chosen ones, you are not merely living a life defined by challenges and growth. You are a divine instrument, a walking embodiment of karma sent into people's lives as a test, a mirror, and a catalyst for transformation. Your presence is powerful, and your role is significant, even when the weight of it feels overwhelming. Every trial you face and every moment you endure serves a greater purpose. You shine a light into the lives of others, revealing truths they may fear to confront and offering them an opportunity to grow, even if they are not ready to embrace it. Your mission may feel isolating, but it is nothing short of extraordinary. The path you walk is not an easy one, but it is paved with divine purpose. The struggles you endure are not meaningless. They are a testament to the magnitude of your calling. Each obstacle sharpens your character, each challenge strengthens your spirit, and each test reaffirms your unwavering connection to God's divine plan. Though the world may not always understand your journey, rest assured that your legacy will echo far beyond the present moment. You are a vessel for change, a reminder that transformation demands courage, and a sign that God's justice is alive and active in this world. If this message has spoken to your heart, if it has reminded you of the depth of your purpose, or stirred something powerful within you, then don't let this moment pass without action. Subscribe to the channel and join this community of like-minded souls who are ready to embrace their calling and unlock the potential God has placed within them. By subscribing, you are taking a bold step toward aligning yourself with divine wisdom and becoming part of a movement that seeks truth, growth, and faith in every step. Additionally, your support means everything. If you feel led to contribute, you can do so by clicking the Super Thanks button. Your donations, no matter the size, allow this message to reach more people who need encouragement and spiritual guidance. And even if you are unable to donate, know that your presence, your engagement, and your willingness to walk this path alongside us are deeply appreciated. Thank you for being part of this journey. Before you go, take a moment to like this video. Leave a comment sharing your thoughts or experiences, and to share this message with someone in your life who may need to hear it. By doing so, you are not only supporting this mission, but also helping to spread the light of truth and love to those who may feel lost or uncertain. May God's blessings overflow in your life. May He guide your steps, strengthen your faith, and bring you peace and clarity as you continue to fulfill your divine purpose. Remember, you are never alone on this path. God walks with you, and this community stands beside you. Let's continue to rise higher together, embracing the mission we've been chosen for and unlocking the abundant blessings that await us. Stay blessed, stay faithful, and I look forward to seeing you in the next message. Let's walk this extraordinary journey together, one step at a time.